everybody, welcome to 2016. I hope you had a great holidays and a really great new year, and I hope everyone's really gonna have a great year. Like, I'm just so pumped. I don't know what it is about starting a new year and just feeling like you get to start over again. I don't know what it is that makes us feel so refreshed and alive. I'm really excited about my new hair color, which I did. I spent my New Year's Eve dyeing my hair and cuddling with cats, as all the cool kids I'm sure were doing. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about my favorite books of 2015 in this video. Unlike other years, I only have like 5. Most years I have like a dozen or like 15 and I'm trying to narrow it down. Last year I think I did like 10 or 15 or something. And this year I don't know whether it's because I don't have as many that really stood out as favorite, no matter whether I rated them 5 stars just because I thought it was a great conclusion to a series or just a really great book and I really liked it. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be one of my favorites, and that's something I guess that I've come to realize, that not every book that I really love has to be a favorite. This is not going to be in any particular order. This is just going to be, these are my like 5 favorites, technically 9, but one is a series. Without further ado, let's just get into it. The first book is really 4 books. It's a 4-book series, The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I read the entire series in 2015. I started off my year with reading Cinder. It was the first book I read in 2015. Loved it. I'm sure I gave all these books 5 stars, and I just pretty much finished off the year reading Winter. I read Winter at the beginning of December, and yeah, it's an amazing series, one of my favorites. I can't wait for more books by Marissa. The characters are so wonderful and lovable, and yes, it's fairy tale retellings, and there's like, people could say that it's like predictable, but that's because it's a retelling. I mean, come on. It ended on such a beautiful note. The series in its entirety was like amazing, and so that's why the whole series is a favorite, because altogether it was just beautiful and wonderful. Like, it was great. Another book that I read early on in the year, which is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which I finally read an F. Scott Fitzgerald book. Sadly, this is the only one I read in 2015, which I really had good intentions all year of reading another, because I read this at the beginning of the year. I just didn't end up picking another one up, and I definitely need to in 2016 because I love this book. It's so well written and poetic and tragic and beautiful. It's just a gorgeous story. I read this before I ever watched the movie, and I'd never like watched the trailer or anything, so I didn't have any like predisposed vision of the novel, so I went into it completely making it all up in my head. I could see it so perfectly in my head because he describes things so well and just beautifully. Next is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Finally finished this book in 2015. This book was kind of life-changing. It gives me a different perspective on humanity and on the world, and I mean, this book, I mean, who hasn't read this book? It's set during World War II in Nazi Germany. I mean, it's awful and sad, and it makes you so mad at humanity, and it makes you just want to give up on the world, but then it also replenishes your faith in humanity. It's a book where you're both hating humanity and loving it at the same time, because there's so much good in the world and there's also so much evil. I watched the movie after I read this, and yeah, the movie was great as well. Also, this book, if you haven't read it, it's narrated by Death. Yeah. Selling point. You should probably read it. This summer, I believe it was in the summer, I read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Finally. This book has gotten so much praise all over, especially online. It's set in the future, and it's where like the world is shit, so everyone just escapes into this online kind of virtual reality, the Oasis, and they live their whole lives kind of in there, like going to school, I think going to work. Then the creator of the Oasis dies, and so he's a billionaire, and his whole like fortune and everything is left to whoever can find all the clues and unlock all the things. It's like this intense kind of sci-fi race through this virtual reality. Also, it's really pretty. Like, orange is great. I love orange books. Lastly, I'm going to talk about a graphic novel because I can, and graphic novels are books too, and I actually only read this just in December as well, and it was Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This is amazing. It's a graphic novel that follows a villain, a supervillain, and his sidekick, and you know, as they try to cause trouble, but also the villain is he's very morally gray because he's been giving this villain role. Like, there's basically an institute that gives you the hero role or the villain role, and he's been given the villain role, although he's very morally good and like doesn't want to kill people. The supervillain gets this new sidekick, Nimona, who is really awesome, a shapeshifter, but there's so much about her. It's crazy. Look at this. It's awesome. The art is beautiful. So those are my favorite books of 2015. I definitely want to make it a goal. It is my goal in 2016 to read more diversely. I think I only read maybe one classic in 2015, which was The Great Gatsby, and I didn't read many non-YA books. I only read one graphic novel, like general fiction. I did read a Stephen King novel. I read Apollonic, but still, is that how you say his name? Chuck Palahniuk? Something. I bought and acquired lots of like general fiction and memoirs and classics this last year. So I've got to read them, right? Like, I'm really excited for them as well. I've just challenged myself to read 50 books again, like on Goodreads. I hope to read more. I would love to, although in 2015 I only just read 50, barely, but I did it, and that was good. But 2015 was a crazy year for me. Also, though, for this channel, a goal for this channel is to post more diversely as well. Like, I definitely want to make non-book videos, and I do sometimes. And I know this has always been a booktube channel, but I've been like branching out and making other things as well. Start taking more seriously my photography and maybe making little like video film things. Not really like filmmaking, like making a film, but little like videos and stuff, like very pretentious type things, you know. I need to get a new lens for my camera because this lens that I'm currently filming on is kind of broken. Like, it's kind of wiggly, and I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I've had it for almost 3 years. But it's definitely been through some hard times. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing 2016, and I will talk to you soon.